Yes, I'd like to call this meeting to order, and at the time is 6:36 p.m. I would like to welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the Midway Noise Compatibility Commission. The commission holds this meeting pursuant to the intergovernmental agreement executed by the city of Chicago and each of the participants, as well as the commission bylaws and the Open Meetings Act, which was amended on June 12, 2020, because the governor of Illinois has issued a disaster declaration related to public health concerns, and because I, as commission chair, have determined that an in-person meeting is not practical or prudent, the commission is conducting this meeting via video conference using Zoom. I would ask that Jennifer Jablonski, a representative for the Chicago Department of Aviation, to please record the minutes of this meeting. Our next order of business then will be the Pledge of Allegiance. I think we have to face east. Is that correct? No flag is present. So I ask everybody to please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
The flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and justice for all. Thank you very much, and please be seated. Our next order of business is the roll call. And everybody's going to have to respond to this because we're doing this virtually. Bedford Park, Jerry Pagno or Larry Kaczewski, representing Mayor David Brady.
Mayor Brady, we can see you, but you are on mute.
Okay, Dave Brady.
Okay, there he is. Okay, thank you. Bridgeview, Trustee Norma Pinion, representing Mayor Stephen Landeck. Okay. Burbank, Alderman Robert Contreras, representing Mayor Daniel Foy. Cicero, Jose Alvarez, representing Mayor Larry Thomas.
Jose Alvarez here.
Okay, thank you, Jose. Forest View, Mark Macciola, representing Mayor Lawrence Powell. Lyons, Tom Sheehan, representing Mayor Christopher Getty. Stickney, Trustee Mitch Malinkovic, representing Mayor Jeff Wallach.
Here.
I know you're here. Summit, Mayor Sergio Rodriguez.
Here.
Unincorporated Cook County, Board President Tony Preckwinkle. Okay, Chicago Ward 13, Kenneth Panarella. Chicago Ward 14, Thomas Baliga, myself present. Chicago Ward 14, Christopher Kutswara.
Here.
Chicago Ward 14, Stan Lahassett.
Here.
Chicago Ward 23, Felix Kaczynski.
Here.
Aaron Frame, representing Commissioner of Aviation, Jamie Reed.
Here.
There are 9 of the 15 members present pursuant to the intergovernmental agreement and the bylaws. There is a majority of members present, and therefore there is a quorum present for the transaction of commission business. The next order of business is the approval of the minutes from the July 23rd, 2020 meeting. The draft minutes were distributed to all commission members prior to this meeting. Are there any corrections to the draft minutes?
Chairman, on page 2 at the top, it says January 23rd in a couple of places instead of July 23rd.
Oh, good catch.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't catch that one. I like that eagle eye. Okay. We have one correction on the draft minutes. Are there any other corrections?
Chairman, just to clarify, are we talking about the top of page 2 in section A?
Yes, next to the A, and then within the body, it also says January 23rd instead of July 23rd.
Yes, thank you for catching that.
Sure.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the July 23rd, 2020 minutes as amended?
Aye.
Aye.
Stan makes the motion, seconded by,
Aye.
that Mayor Brady?
No, but I'll second it.
Okay, thanks, Mayor. I think it's a little difficult here. So motion is made by Stan Lahassett, seconded by Mayor Brady. Is there any discussion? Okay, pursuant to section 76 of the Open Meeting Act, all votes must be conducted by roll call. So Jenny, I'm going to ask you to call the roll for the vote on the approval of the minutes.
Jenny Jablonski, you're on mute.
I
you go.
see her. I see her.
I'm also logged in on my phone.
Okay, so you got to put one or the other on mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay, Jenny, do you want to conduct a roll call
Yes.
for the
Would you
vote?
like
Down?
to say the names or the town names?
Okay, Jenny, you sound like you're all the way across the other side of the room.
Okay, can you give me 1 second?
Yes?
Sure. We can even give you 2 seconds.
I took it off mute and speaker. Can you hear me now?
Not really. Kind of.
I'm going to hang up on my phone. 1 second. Okay, I apologize. I was trying to do it on my phone so you could hear me better. The wrong choice.
Yes, but you have to get closer to the microphone.
I am right in front of it. I apologize.
That's okay. That's good. Just stay where you are.
Okay, Bedford Park Mayor David Brady,
Yes.
Cicero Jose Alvarez,
Yes.
Stickney Trustee Milankovic,
Yes.
Summit Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 14 Cambaliga,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 14 Christopher Caswara,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 14 Stan Lahasset,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 23 Felix Kaczynski,
Yes.
and Department of Aviation Aaron Frame.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. We move on to the report of the Chicago Department of Aviation. Commissioner Aaron Frame.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to have you again. I will tell you, we are doing better this time with our virtual meeting than we did in July. So good job, and thanks to all of you. We're getting better. All right, we've got 3 updates for you. I'm going to go ahead and talk about 5A for just a quick minute, and then Ryan is going to talk about items B and C. Regarding the new noise contour, we do continue to work on that. We are waiting for some information from the FAA. They are helping us figure out the projections of air traffic and which runways would be utilized in what degree. And so we're awaiting that information from the FAA air traffic folks. I'm not terribly worried about that. So they will send that when they can, and we will incorporate that into the noise model. At this point, we are probably anticipating completion sometime, I'm going to say, in the spring of next year, and we will keep you posted at each meeting that we do. When the draft is ready, we will announce that with public notice, and we will solicit public comment. So do not feel like you're going to miss out. We will make sure that all of you are notified when that draft is ready. But in the meantime, we'll continue to brief you at each of your quarterly meetings. Chairman, are there any questions about item 5A and the new noise contour?
Not for me. The only question I would have, if it's going to be in spring, I'm assuming we're going to have it at the Mayfield, and we'd have to do social distancing.
Yeah, I think we have talked to the FAA about, if we are not able to meet in person, what would public outreach look like in a virtual setting? We have heard some instances around the country with other airports that are doing that. Simply because they have approval documents that are in process right now. So Ryan's company, Landrum & Brown, has been sort of doing research to figure out what other airports have worked through that, and so that we can incorporate lessons learned if we have to. So right now we're open-ended. We don't know what that public outreach looks like, but as we get closer, then we'll be able to make some good decisions.
Okay, very good.
All right, and with that, let me turn it over to Ryan, and he will talk to you about items 5B and 5C.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Ryan,
Chairman, can you see the presentation on your screen?
I sure can.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm going to update you on the latest numbers that we're seeing as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact on the aviation industry, specifically with the airports in Chicago. First, I want to show you TSA national traveler volumes. These are the number of people that are passing through security checkpoints at terminals across the country to travel by air. We have the travelers for 2019 in red at the top of the graph versus travelers in 2020. We've updated these numbers through Columbus Day, October 12th. As you can see, we're still 39% below where we were as far as traveler numbers last year. You can see that through the summer, we did see a bit of growth in traveler demand through the summer months, mainly driven by the leisure traveler. And those numbers have maintained themselves into the fall here. And it looks like those numbers, despite increases in positivity rates throughout the country, those numbers are maintaining themselves through the fall. But we'll continue to track those numbers and show you the results in upcoming meetings. I've also got the traveler volumes for passengers that are passing through the terminals at Midway. Again, updated through Columbus Day, and you can see the difference between the number of people passing through the security checkpoints in 2019 versus 2020. Again, we bottomed out basically at spring break here in March. You can see in red that uptick is that spring break demand peak, and that's kind of where we bottomed out in 2020. But we've had some growth through the summer, again, mainly driven by the leisure traveler, which Southwest Airlines that operates primarily out of Midway caters to. So we've seen a little bit better growth at Midway than we have at O'Hare.
Chairman, just to add on to that, I will tell you that over the summer, the CDA did finish the expansion to the security checkpoint at Midway. It's fully open now. It's beautiful. So for those of you who do get the opportunity to travel in the next few months, I think you'll really find the improvements at security screening to be much, much better than in years past.
Aaron, let me ask you, once we get back to some kind of a normal with our regular lives, will we be able to get a tour of that facility?
I think you could, Chairman. We can certainly send that request through Commissioner Ree and let her know you're interested. So just keep that in the back of your mind, and when you're ready, next year, just let us know, and we can make that arrangement.
Sounds good. I'd like to invite all the commission members too.
Okay, just let us know.
Okay, so operation levels at O'Hare, 2019 versus 2020. Through September, we have updated numbers, and you can see we continue to see well below demand levels, operation levels than we saw in 2019, looking at 49% reduction in September compared to last year. Midway, a little bit less of an impact, especially through the summer months. You can see July, August, we did see operation levels return, again, primarily driven by the leisure traveler through the summer. But we did see those operation levels start to dip off again as we entered the fall. 41% reduction below 2019 numbers in September.
So Ryan, according to that data, go back, we're basically at 400 flights a day at Midway.
That was the average operations in September, yes.
Okay, good.
This graph shows the number of scheduled flights and the percent change versus the same period last year. So we've updated this through the schedules through November. As you can see, some of our main carriers, United and American to the far right, are still showing pretty significant reductions in their scheduled flights through November, over 47% for United. And Southwest, you'll see 41.6%. Earlier in the year, they had a more optimistic schedule, but they've sort of righted itself and are showing more in line with some of the larger carriers with a 41, almost 42% reduction in scheduled flights through November. We also continue to see airlines take advantage of the grounding of aircraft due to the low demand levels. There are many aircraft that aren't needed to be used and therefore are in storage or in long-term parking. And we do have airlines that are taking advantage of that and starting to retire some of their older fleets. I called out Delta here specifically since they operate at Midway, and they've announced that they will retire their CRJ 200s, their 50-seaters by December of 2023, as well as their 717-200s by December 2025. As you remember, the Boeing 717-200 is one of our Lauder aircraft that operates at Midway. It was the aircraft that AirTran used to fly before they were bought out by Southwest. Southwest took over those aircraft and then sold them to Delta. So that's an older, much older technology aircraft that is Lauder. And so Delta has chosen to retire those out of the fleet at an accelerated rate than we would have seen without the pandemic. And again, I just want to close on the resiliency of the aviation system and the industry. The industry has seen significant shocks throughout its history, but has always rebounded. The question again for COVID-19, it is by far one of the most significant impacts to the system. It's just a matter of when we might see recovery back to the growth trends that we've seen in previous years. And that's still hard to say at this point without, as we're still not containing the virus to the state. So it'll be a number of years before we see a return to that growth that we saw pre-COVID.
All right.
And that completes the update on the COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from any of the commissioners on that particular part of the report? Okay, if not, Aaron, you want to go ahead with the third quarter report?
Yes, Chairman. Ryan will present that for you.
Okay.
Okay, I have the third quarter 2020 airport noise management system report for Midway. Pages 1 through 3 provide a background and overview of the reports, as well as some highlights. We have operations updated through August of 2020, based on the FAA's air traffic activity data system. You can see that we saw 14,977 operations in July and 14,946 operations in August of 2020, still well below the operation levels that we saw in 2019, as we just spoke about. Page 2, in the upper right corner, we have our wind diagram. Wind is, again, the key factor that influences runway use at the airport. As you can see, we had a considerable amount of wind out of the south and southwest, which resulted in the airport operating in primarily west flow for third quarter in the months of July, August, and September. You can see we were in west flow configuration at the airport for 62% of the time in the third quarter. That resulted in our departure runways primarily being 22 left and 22 right at 38% utilization, departing to the southwest, as well as our arrival runway 4 left, 4 right at 41%. Page 3, we have a summary of complaints made to the noise complaint system. We have total numbers for July, August, and September. As you can see, well below, especially for September, only 145 total complaints. Again, that matches up well with the low number of operations. We expect to see a correlation between complaint levels as well as operation levels. Our operations are significantly down, therefore, so are complaints. Page 4 is our airline and aircraft fleet mix report. This breaks out all the airlines and aircraft types that are operating at Midway, as well as the average operations per day and per night. At the top, we have our airlines that are operating at Midway. A few of these have still suspended service, such as Porter, that is the Canadian airline. They have still suspended service for this year. I think they're looking to start back up in a few months. And so has Delta. Delta just resumed operations last month, but Southwest has continued to operate throughout the summer during the pandemic. But you can see the average operations per day, 439, well below our typical average, as well as 23 operations per night. So only 5% of the operations are occurring at night in the third quarter. The bottom of the page shows the fleet mix for Midway. And again, predominantly Southwest Airlines operating the 737 aircraft type is the best aircraft type operating at the airport. And the other smaller aircraft, very low, if insignificant numbers due to the low operation levels or the airlines still with suspended service. Page 5 is our runway use report for July 2020. The bottom, you can see our utilization percentages for each runway direction. You can see in July, we were a bit mixed between east and west flow. We had 32% on our 22 left and 22 right departures, 32% at 31 center, and 35% on 4 left and 4 right. Arrivals, we were predominantly arriving from the Southwest on 4 left, 4 right at 46%, and 22 right and 22 left at 31%. August, we saw a bit more of west flow configurations with 22 left, 38% of departures on the departure side, and then on the arrival side, 42% on the on runways 4 right, coming from the Southwest. Page 7 is the runway use report for September. And again, mixed, but predominantly a bit west flow. 22 left, 22 right, 44% for departures. And then on the arrival side, we saw 43% on 22 left and 22 right, as well as 35% arrivals on 4 right. Pages 8 and 9 show our noise monitors, our permanent noise monitors around O'Hare. I'm sorry, Midway. We have 13 permanent noise monitors around Midway. Page 9 shows the aircraft DNL values for the previous 12 months, as well as the current quarter and the previous 3 quarters. In the far right, you'll see the quarterly noise levels in DNL. All the numbers are green, meaning they showed a at least 1 decibel or more decrease. Considerable, if not all the monitors showed at least a decibel or more decrease in noise, aircraft noise, for the third quarter 2020. Again, predominantly due to the extremely low operation levels we've seen due to the pandemic impact. Page 10 is the noise complaint report for third quarter 2020. As you can see, we show the number of complaints that were made in the third quarter by households that were verified. We have a total number of 1,432 complaints in the third quarter, as well as a breakout of number of households for each month in the quarter. As you can see, about 94% of the complaints made in the third quarter were made by 3 verifiable households, one in Frankfurt, one in Justice, and one in Western Springs. And the rest were a bit minuscule here with Cicero, Chicago, Burbank, and Palos Park. On the right, we break out the method of complaint, nature of complaint, and time of complaint. The method, by far 99%, was through the website. Aircraft noise was the predominant nature of the complaint, with over 94%. And the time of complaint, typically we see a roughly 80-20 split, but this matches up more with what we're seeing with the schedules, especially through the summer, much more daytime operations than night. So the complaints matched up to that, much more daytime complaints versus night. And page
We
11
have in the
shows,
past determined that Frankfurt, Justice, and Western Springs are all robocalls, correct?
well, they may be actual people. It is a verifiable address, but there are methods out there to make complaints easily and quickly. And so I suspect that those 3 households do utilize a method to make numerous complaints in an easy way. Page 11 shows the geographic location of all the complaints in the third quarter 2020. As you can see, most of them are kind of in line with our runways, and so there aren't too many surprises regarding the location of the complaints for third quarter.
Have we had complaints from Bridgeport before? That one kind of pops out at me.
That's a good question, Chairman. I would have to go back and look and see.
Well, Chairman, I remember a few years ago we did. Remember that Alderman, Jim, I forget his last name. He was a Chicago alderman, I think prior to 2015.
Okay.
We did remember that in 2013, we approved the new noise contour. There were some air traffic changes that summer.
Yes.
And Jim Balser, I think his name was.
Yeah, Balser.
Yeah. So I think we have had, you can see those red dots are generally in a line and they're
Right.
on an approach coming into Midway. So it's not uncommon to see that. We haven't really talked about that for a while. So that seems consistent just because those houses are on a flight path.
It just kind of jumped out this time. Well, Aaron, let me ask you also, just go back to the page 4, or maybe Ryan might Ryan might answer this. Have any of those airlines expressed any issues about being an ongoing concern for the future?
As far as the pandemic impact?
Yes, because of the economics of what's happening.
Yeah, well, I will say that, I mean, everyone, all the airlines are taking a hit.
Right.
But I will say that Southwest has been better positioned than some of the other legacy carriers that don't operate at Midway. And they are possibly looking to take advantage of some markets that United and American are starting to back out of. So Southwest is again, they've relied heavily on the leisure passenger, and that passenger demographic is really supporting the industry right now. And so they've been in a much better position than some of the other carriers that rely heavily on the business traveler, which has not returned.
I thought within the last week or two, or maybe in the last 30 days, I saw something or heard something about Southwest potentially taking some gates at O'Hare. Is that true? Or
yes, Southwest is interested in starting some operations at O'Hare. Again, they're looking, both O'Hare is a dual hub for United and American Airlines. Both of those airlines have been hit hard with this pandemic because they rely heavily on the business traveler. And as a result, they've scaled back some of their operations at O'Hare, and Southwest is looking to take advantage of that.
But who controls those gates that have been scaled back?
Well, O'Hare is under a new lease agreement, and so all their gates are, for lack of a better term, common use. It depends on operation levels, whether or not you're able to hold on to a gate.
Gotcha.
But any airline has the opportunity to look to start at O'Hare with the gates.
Okay.
Will that affect the airlines Southwest here, though?
That I don't know. I'm not aware that Southwest is interested in relocating all their operations at O'Hare. I think they're just looking at expanding their operations. So as far as I know, Southwest will continue to use Midway as a major hub, and possibly supplement the market here in Chicago at O'Hare.
Thank you.
It's a good question, Felix.
Chairman, are there any other questions on the noise report?
Not for me. How about any of the other commissioners?
Very good, sir. That completes the city's report.
All right, so we move on to item number 6, which is reports of standing committee. For the executive committee, there's no report, and for residential committee, there also is no report. And that leads us up to item 7, old business. Is there any old business that we may have missed or that needs to be discussed? Okay, if not, then we go to the new business, which is the resolution 2020A, the meeting schedule for 2020. I'm sorry?
2021.
Oh, yeah, that's a typo there. Good shot, Stan. That should be for 2021, correct, Aaron?
Yes, Chairman, that's correct. So the resolution number is 2020A because we're passing the resolution in 2020,
Right.
but the text is correct in the resolution as prepared. I think I have a typo on your notes tonight.
Okay. I'm going to ask it for Vice Chair, Mayor Sergio. Do you want to read the resolution? Can you hear me?
Yes, just let me get a minute to get there.
Okay. I don't want to do all the talking.
Mayor, this resolution should be in the packet that you received probably last week.
Right. I have it here, but I just.
Yeah, I have it on. I have it in my office. I just.
All right, I'll go ahead and read it then. I just don't want to be monopolizing the meeting. So resolution 2020A, be it hereby resolved by the Midway Noise Compatibility Commission, the commission, that number 1, the following schedule of the regular commission meetings, including date, time, and location for calendar year 2021 is adopted as set forth below. The regular meetings will be held at 6:30 p.m. on the 4th Thursday of January, April, July, and October at the Mayfield, 6072 South Archer Avenue in Chicago, Illinois, 60638, unless changed in accordance with the Illinois Open Meetings Act and the commission bylaws. The dates are January 28, 2021, April 22nd, July 22nd, October 28, 2021. The annual meeting of the commission shall be held on January 28, 2021 at the Mayfield, 6072 South Archer Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 60638. Item 3, the chair of the commission is authorized and directed to prepare and make available the foregoing schedule of meetings in accordance with the section 2.03 of the Illinois Open Meetings Act. Is there any corrections to this resolution? And is there now a motion to approve the resolution 2020A as read?
Approved.
Make that motion.
Okay, Felix makes the motion. Who seconds?
Second, Sergio.
Mayor
Mayor Rodriguez.
seconds. Thank you. Is there any discussion? If not, Jenny, I would ask you to call the roll for a vote, please. Is Jenny still with us?
Yes,
Yes.
Bedford Park, Mayor Brady,
Yes.
Cicero, Jose Alfred,
Yes.
Stickney, trustee Malinkovic,
Yes.
Summit Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 14, Tom Baliga,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 14, Kawarga.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Chicago Ward 14,
Jenny, you're getting farther and farther away from the mic.
Chicago Ward 14, Stan Mahaffey,
Can't hear her.
Jenny, can you read that again?
Stan Mahaffey, Chicago Ward 14.
Can't hear. Not coming in.
All right, Chairman, I'll take over just to
Okay.
finish the roll call, if that's okay.
Sure.
Chicago Ward 14, Stan Lahasset.
Here.
Stan, do you vote yes on the resolution?
Yes.
Okay. Chicago Ward 23, Felix Kuczynski.
Yes.
And Aaron Frame, myself, for Commissioner of Aviation, yes. Chairman, the motion passes.
The resolution passes. Is there any further new business to discuss? Okay, if not, there being no further business or further questions, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved. Dave Brady, Bedford Park.
Thank you, Dave. Who wants to second?
I'll second it. Stan Lahasset.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Jenny or Aaron, do you want to call the roll for this vote?
Jenny, go for it.
You'll have to do it.
Bedford Park, Mayor
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Cicero, Jose Alvarez,
Yes.
Stickney, Mitch Malinkovic,
Yes.
Summit Mayor Rodriguez,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 14, Tom Baliga,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 14, Chris Kazwara,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 14, Stan Lahasset,
Yes.
Chicago Ward 23, Felix Kuczynski,
Yes.
Chicago Department of Aviation, Aaron Frame.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes.
All right, thank you, Jenny. This meeting is adjourned at 7:13 PM. The next regular meeting of the full commission is scheduled for January 28, 2021 at 6:30 PM at the Mayfield Banquet Hall located at 6072 South Archer Avenue in Chicago, unless a meeting by video conference is next necessary. We then go on to comments from the audience. Do we have anybody actually signed in from the public?
Ryan, do you or Elizabeth have any comments from any audience members on the virtual meeting?
No, we don't have any hands, nor do we have any comments in the chat.
Okay. So that means we're pretty much adjourned with everything. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and upcoming happy holidays. Everybody hopefully stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you in the next year.
Very good, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you.
All of you be healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming
Have a
on
good
board.
night.
Bye.
Healthy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.